Secret Senators is a hidden role game set place in ancient Rome, where the unending power struggle between Caesar and his senators pave the way for backstabbing and betrayal. Players are dealt roles from two factions, the Senators and the Caesar family. The Senators do not know who each other are as their role stays hidden. The player who is dealt the Caesar role immediately reveals himself to be Caesar, acquiring a special veto button. Octavius is a member of the Caesar family and plays a special role in the endgame stage. Caesar does not know who Octavius is. The two parties struggle to obtain the upper hand by passing policies, launching assassinations, and obtaining favor from the population. The senators have to work together to pass policies that allow them to kill Caesar. Caesar needs to trick the senators into passing their policies that allow them to take control of the Senate.
I have always had a great passion for both playing and making board games, as ever since elementary school, my friends and I would often stay after school to modify board games and make them more fun. The inspiration for Secret Senators came from the Shakespearean play Julius Caesar, which I thought would make for an excellent game about backstabbing and betrayal. I also took some inspiration from other popular hidden role games like Among Us and Secret Hitler. Thus, this idea was born. From the very start, I wanted Secret Senators to be very thematic. I knew I wanted to create a game where Caesar had to be very wary about his senators' actions, yet never quite know when they would strike. I went through many different concepts and ideas that were eventually scrapped before I settled on the one in my final product. For example, originally I had cards where, depending on who had the most power at the current time, a different ability would be enacted. However, it soon proved to be too complex and complicated, as well as it slowed down the game too much for it to be continued to be used. There were also some role cards as well, which I planned on using that were very similar to the real-life versions of their characters, but because of complexity, I also decided to scrap those as well. When it came to implementing my board game, I worked on a software called Tabletop Simulator. It was an online tool that could be used to create board games as well as play it with others online. Here was where I had to learn some new programming languages, one called Lua, which was used to automate certain processes. For example, if I press this button, it flips up all the votes at the same time. That way, nobody can cheat. Next, I created a veto button, where once you pressed it, a giant no would come out of the sky and crush all the votes. And finally, the one that took the most time, it was this one tiny button. But it also allows me to move this button properly across two different buttons. I also dipped my toes into 3D modeling and texturing to make this simple knife for aesthetics. I also had to learn how to use art software to create these various different cards, as well as their respective backings. The playtesting phase was definitely the toughest part, as it was very difficult to find 7 friends who both had Tabletop Simulator and was willing to play it. However, once we did get the group together, we soon found a multitude of bugs and oversights that significantly slowed down the game and made it quite a mess. After various playthroughs, we found that certain ideas would often clash with each other, and was why some of the ideas were scrapped or reworked in the end. However, once things did start working, it was absolutely hilarious.
That is some
Let's
sadness.
go!
Yeah!
That's big!
Bro, please! Bro, please! What the heck?
Although the mechanics of the game could be further ironed out to make it more balanced and fun, I am very satisfied with what I have in its current state. Throughout this creative journey, it has been an absolute monster of a learning experience. I picked up many little skills such as modeling, graphic design, coding, video editing, game balance, that will all be certain to be helpful for future projects. The many mistakes that I've made throughout this process has taught me the value of perseverance and how moving on from failure can allow people to create something even better. Unless, of course, you've been stabbed 23 times in the back.